Shalom, shalom, my hovering. Greetings, my YouTube mishpah. What's up, my people? And welcome, friends, to Bible and a Bicycle Bible Review. My name is Will, and I'm an aspired follower of Yeshua HaMashiach. That is, Jesus Christ. And this here is where we take a look at Bibles that I found while out riding around on my bicycle to local thrift stores and the like in search of Bibles and other items that I might be able to use within the outreach ministry that we do here locally, working with those experiencing poverty and or homelessness in my community. If that's something you might be interested in helping out with, there's all kinds of links down below to where you can help us help others. But that's not what we're here in this video for. What we're here for in this video is to take a look at a Bible from all the way back in the 1980s. That's right, folks. In case you were wondering why I've been sporting these here cheap sunglasses. Today, we're looking at the International Children's Bible, published back in 1988. And as is often the case, I know very little about the International Children's Bible translation itself. That's what we're here doing this video for. But what got my attention about this Bible was that their nifty cover. Look at that. Look at that. That's just vomiting the 1980s vibe right there. Look, I took my fashion cue from this kid here on the end. Yeah, I don't know how old you are, and I'm not going to ask, but let me tell you, in 1988, I was a young man of 20 years old. And like I said, I couldn't pass that cover up when I seen it sitting on the Goodwill shelf. Then once I opened it up, I mean, she's rough, don't get me wrong, but that ain't never stopped me from picking up a secondhand Bible. Noticed all those nifty, bright, colorful illustrations. I couldn't just leave it there on the thrift store bookshelf. I knew that this here gem of a Bible deserved to have a new home and get more use out of it. Like I said, she's rough. She's been through it. It's got a lot of use in it. So I put a lot of stickers up in here. Cover, well, it's a softback, and it's had its better days, let me tell you. Well worn, as you can tell. Front piece here. With that too. To Andy from Mama and Daddy. That's nice. That's nice. Looks like Andy used it quite a bit, if you ask me. But look at this. These nice, beautiful, colorful plates right here in the front. It's got a little illustrated abbreviation of the Old Testament books. Look at those. That's nice. Looks like this might have gotten damp at one point. Maybe not exactly wet, but damp. All the pages kind of got that, you know, when a book gets damp, kind of wrinkled up pages. Surprisingly, as thin as this paper is, that ghosting's not too awful bad. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. But then we got the illustrations inside, Genesis. You don't get colors like that these days, folks. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. And these pages, of course, are glossy and a lot thicker. But the actual pages of the Bible are super thin. But like I said, that bleed through isn't horribly bad, which is shocking. And you can tell just by the softness of the book. It's been used a lot, and it seems like it was stored somewhere damp, maybe in a basement. I often wonder the stories behind these Bibles, how they end up, you know, being a cherished gift at one point, and then the journey they take, especially when they've been well used, you know, how they end up on the thrift store shelf. But those illustrations, those are beautiful. Man, you don't get those no more. Reminds me of those, we did a little review of the Golden Books Children's Illustrated Bible. I'll put it up there somewhere. But the same kind of illustrations, you know. Those old standard back in the 20th century, you know. Probably been being used since the 1950s, to be honest. That's what those colors remind me of. But check it out. Here's what really got me stoked. Bam, look at that. Whoa. Maps, folks. Look at that. Not only maps, but full color, glossy maps. Abraham's journey, the desert wanderings of Exodus, 12 tribes during Judges. These maps are awesome. Anybody that's been around here very long watching these videos knows that I'm a big fan of maps in the Bibles. It just gives so much clarity to what's going on geographically, and it really opens your eyes to the cultural and historical context of the Bible in a way that I just don't see how you could do it without it. I just think it's a shame to not utilize maps more in Bible reading. They even get down to Yeshua's, that's Jesus, his last days in Jerusalem. That's 50. And then, of course, the Acts of the Apostles and how the gospel spread. Oh, those maps. That makes this book, let me tell you. And it says World Publishing right there. So, like I said, I don't know much about the International Children's Bible Translation itself or World Publishing, but that's what we're here for. So without any further ado, let's delve into the International Children's Bible Translation of the Holy Bible, find out more about the world publications, and whatever else we can about this here Bible. Alrighty.
International Children's Bible, New Century Version. Publisher, W Publishing Group. Formerly, Word, Inc. January 1st, 1988. Language, English. Let's start with a little overview of the Word, Inc. Publishing Company history. The International Children's Bible was originally published by Word, Inc. Word, Inc. was a pioneering force in Christian publishing and music, and it has left an indelible mark on the landscape of religious media since its inception in 1951. Founded by Gerald McCracken, a visionary sportscaster and ministry student, the company emerged as a catalyst for the multi-million-dollar genre of Christian contemporary music, CCM, and evolved into a prominent publisher of Christian literature. McCracken's journey began when he recorded The Game of Life, a fictionalized football match between good and evil, for radio station WORD. The success of this recording, coupled with the growing demand for sacred records, led him to establish Word Records in Waco, Texas, initially operating out of his apartment. With the assistance of friends, Henry Sorrell and Ted Snyder, Word quickly gained traction by signing artists, producing and distributing music, and utilizing Record of the Month clubs to reach audiences. Throughout the 1950s, Word distinguished itself in a landscape where few labels focused on religious music. It expanded its offerings beyond records to include sheet music, Christian literature, and educational resources, becoming a comprehensive resource for the Christian community. By 1960, Word had established its headquarters at 4800 West Waco Drive, marking a significant milestone in its growth. The label's exponential expansion paralleled the rise of CCM, culminating in its acquisition by ABC in 1974 and subsequent relocation near Fort Worth, Texas. While this transition signaled a shift away from its communal roots in Waco, Word continued to thrive under new ownership. However, Gerald McCracken's departure from the company in 1986 marked the end of an era. Under the umbrella of Thomas Nelson Inc., Word Inc. continued to flourish, publishing best-selling works by prominent authors such as Billy Graham, Anne Graham, Lotz, Pat Robertson, and James Dobson. Its success extended beyond traditional nonfiction titles, with Word being a key player in the surge of interest in Christian fiction. In the 1990s, Word relocated to Nashville, Tennessee, solidifying its position as one of the leading producers of Christian music. Artists like Sandy Patty and Amy Grant found a home at Word, contributing to its continued influence in the industry. Despite its evolution, Word remained true to its ministerial goal of spreading the message of Christianity through music and literature. In a significant rebranding effort in the early 2000s, Word Publishing transitioned to W Publishing Group, reflecting a broader diversification in its publishing program. This move signaled an expansion beyond traditional publishing into multimedia platforms, event publishing, and collaborating with the authors and ministries to create comprehensive content experiences. Looking ahead, W Publishing Group continues to innovate and diversify its offerings, with plans for new imprints including Christian weight loss and fiction, as well as collaborating with CCM Creative Ventures to produce a range of titles on contemporary Christian music and musicians. In summary, Word Inc. has left an enduring legacy in Christian publishing and music, shaping the landscape of religious media for over a half a century. From its humble beginnings in Waco, Texas, to its evolution into W Publishing Group in Nashville, Tennessee, the company's commitment to spreading the Christian message through diverse medium underscores its enduring relevance and impact. The International Children's Bible, ICB from here on out, particularly its New Century Version, the NCV from here on out, presents itself as a significant innovation in biblical translation, tailored explicitly for children as its primary audience. With its emphasis on clarity, simplicity, and accessibility, the ICB NCV offers a unique entry point into the world of the Bible for young readers and those with limited English proficiency. One of the most striking features of the ICB NCV is its commitment to fidelity to the original Greek and Hebrew text. Unlike paraphrased versions or adaptations, the translation endeavors to capture the essence of the scriptures faithfully. This dedication to authenticity is further underscored by the involvement of a team of esteemed Bible scholars and translators, ensuring that the translation process maintains scholarly rigor and integrity. The translation process was guided by two fundamental concerns: faithfulness to the original manuscripts and linguistic simplicity for children's comprehension. The translation team, comprising scholars with diverse experience, meticulously ensured that the language remained accessible without compromising the integrity of the biblical text. Dr. Charles K. Kinzer's comparative study corroborates the success of this approach, highlighting the ICB as the most comprehensible version for children, particularly at a 3rd grade through 5th grade instructional level. Moreover, the ICB NCV enriches children's understanding by contextualizing biblical concepts in natural terms, by incorporating modern measurements and geographical locations wherever possible. The translation bridges the gap between ancient texts and contemporary readers, fostering a deeper connection to biblical narrative. Modern measurements and geographical locations have been used as much as possible. For instance, the traditional shekels and cubits have been converted to modern equivalents of weights and measures. Where geographical references are identical, the modern name has been used, such as the Mediterranean Sea instead of Great Sea or Western Sea. Also, to minimize confusion, the most familiar name for a place is used consistently, instead of using variant names for the same place. Lake Galilee is used throughout, rather than its variant forms, Sea of Kinnereth, Lake Gennesaret, and Sea of Tiberias. Ancient customs are often unfamiliar to modern readers. Customs such as shaving a man's beard to shame him, or walking between the halves of a dead animal to seal an agreement, are difficult for many modern readers to understand. So these are clarified either in text or in a footnote. Since connotations of words change with time, care has been taken to avoid potential misunderstandings. Instead of describing ancient citadels as forts, which for modern readers would likely conjure up a picture of wooden stockades in the Old West, the International Children's Bible uses strong walled cities. Instead of using the phrase, God drove the nations out of Canaan, the phrase is translated, forced them out of Canaan. Rhetorical questions have been worded as statements, showing the implied meaning, as in this example, no one is equal to our God, instead of, who is equal to our God? Figures of speech can easily be misunderstood as literal statements. For instance, when Canaan is described as a land flowing with milk and honey, the reader might literally see milk and honey running through the streets. To clarify, the International Children's Bible has translated the meaning of the figures while preserving the image as much as possible. Idiomatic expressions of the Bible languages are translated to communicate the same meaning to today's reader that would have been understood by the original audience. For example, the Hebrew idiom, he rested with his fathers, is translated by its meaning, he died. The translation's commitment to simplicity extends to its language style, with short and uncomplicated sentences designed to facilitate independent reading for children. Vocabulary choice has been based upon the Living Word vocabulary by Dr. Edgar Dell and Dr. Joseph O'Rourke, World Book Childcraft International, 1981, which is the standard used by the editors of the World Book Encyclopedia to determine appropriate vocabulary. Despite this emphasis on accessibility, the translation preserves the beauty of Hebrew poetry and linguistic devices, ensuring that the richness of the original languages is not lost in translation. However, it is important to note that the ICB NCV is not without controversy, particularly regarding its gender-neutral edition introduced in 1991. While proponents argue that the gender-neutral approach enhances clarity and inclusivity, critics express concerns about the departure from traditional translation principles and theological implications. This debate underscores the complexities inherent in modern biblical translation and the need for thoughtful consideration of diverse perspectives. Overall, the International Children's Bible, New Century Version, represents a commendable effort to make the riches of the Bible text accessible to a younger audience. Its combination of fidelity to the original manuscripts, linguistic simplicity, and contextual relevance makes it a valuable resource for children, families, and educators seeking to engage with the Bible in a meaningful way. However, readers should approach the gender-neutral edition with a discerning eye, considering the broader theological implications within the context of their beliefs and values.
Well, there you have it. That's about all I could find out about the International Children's Bible translation. This here particular copy, although it is used and very, very well worn, as you can tell by the damage on the cover here. The cover's got this lamination on it that probably kept it from being even more damaged. All in all, I think it's a great little Bible for young people who are just getting into the scriptures, or really for anyone out there who's just getting into the scriptures. Heck, I really like those maps, to be honest. I'm a big, big fan of those maps. I might even scan those and utilize them myself. So all in all, those color illustrations, those beautiful maps, and considering that the translation itself seems to be fairly reliable translation, couldn't find much ill to say about it. So would I recommend the International Children's Bible translation of the Bible? Absolutely. I see no reason as to why not. And we're definitely going to find this here particular copy a new home. As a matter of fact, I think I know exactly where would be a good place to rehome this. And that being said, I'd like to say thank you for joining me here today. I know your time is valuable, and I really do appreciate you spending it here with me as we take a look at these here secondhand Bibles and breathe a little bit of life into them, find out a little bit more about these little Bibles. I really enjoy making these little thrift store Bible reviews. Hopefully you learned a little bit of something, or at least got a kick out of watching it. If you got anything at all out of this here little video, you know the routine. Maybe give it a little thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed and you enjoyed this here video and like to see more like it, or any of the other videos we got here on this here channel, maybe consider subscribing so you don't miss the next one. And until the next one, remember, Yeshua, Jesus loves you. So do I. Now get off of here, go ride your bike, and read your Bible.
Jesus walking on the water, he's the OG, turning water into wine, that's a party. Raised the dead, healing all the sick and blind, got the power, Messiah on the grind. Miracles flowing, watching him go. He's the king, got that holy flow. No one does it like the man above. Jesus cool, he's the ultimate love.